welcome to Kino number 151. I'm your co-host Christina, and this is Addie.
Hi guys.
She's replacing Chris tonight, but you managed to see a little glimpse of him just then. And he's much missed, of course. Before we continue, I just want to do a quick acknowledgement to the traditional custodians of this land, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, as we pay our respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging. I also want to say a special thank you to Sun Studios for allowing us to use the space, as well as the gear and this beautiful background that we have behind us tonight. We have 5 films for you guys to watch tonight. It's a little bit lower than our usual submissions, and you're to blame for it.
What happened?
Tell us, why? Why did you guys not submit? It was so easy.
Anyways.
Yeah, but you can make up for it. Next month, we'll be screening again in August. I'll tell you the dates later on, but get on that chat room, make some friends, pitch some ideas, and get shooting, because we want to see your films next month. And another platform that wants to see your films also is Lockdown Lives. Now, they usually screen on Thursday nights. So go to their website, check them out, and make sure you submit. Another place you should submit to is
SF3. So SF3 is a smartphone flick festival that's looking for your entries for their films this year. And this year they have a special category because of the current pandemic COVID situation called ISO films. And it's just asking you to make a film on your smartphone. So that's super easy, super accessible, and entries close in about 2 weeks' time on August the 1st.
Now, let's kick off tonight with Josh Belafonte's film, A Second Letter to Gabriel.
Dear Gabriel, I've enjoyed seeing Montevideo through your eyes, observing its awakening, hearing its sounds, and feeling its senses. I too set off before first light, with a frozen nose and fingertips. Watching as my neighborhood recovered its rhythm. A rhythm that I hadn't stopped and listened to for some time. The first morning I went out, there was nothing but cold, misty Monday morning air. The next morning, I watched as life returned to a new kind of normal. Walking, running, cycling, as if nothing had changed. I am reminded that for some, life will not return. Someone's father, someone's lover, someone's friend.
What are you looking at?
The pelicans.
Pelicans?
Look.
In June, I lost my friend Elizabeth on the other side of the world, and I couldn't say goodbye. As you say, how many blows of reality are necessary to open our eyes? I like to think we remain ready, with one eye open, perhaps one eye resting, wary, waiting and watching. I'm not sure what we are waiting for. Waiting to live our lives. life begins to return through rumbles on the pavement, frost in the air, my dog growling at his neighbours. I'm reminded that I am only one person in my community. Thankful for the sunrise, something that many no longer see.
And now we have Josh with his letter to Gabriel.
A second letter to Gabriel.
Second.
Second.
Oh, sorry.
Second.
That'll do. Okay. I think it's a second letter for Gabriel. Yeah, thanks guys, good to be here.
So this is round two. So so you've seen Gabriel's version, and this is your response to that film?
Yeah, that's right. For people that missed last time, I had obviously a first letter for Gabriel, which was a response to a video letter that a filmmaker in South America sent to me. And he's obviously made it a response to my letter, and now this is my response to his letter.
So how did you find the process of responding back to a film letter?
Yeah, it's a really interesting international collaboration. Essentially, each letter we get tasked with a theme by an organization. And so the first one was about our lockdown, and the second one was about our neighborhood awakening. And so I was very much looking at the fact that some neighborhoods around the world are awake, but some are still asleep. And I started to think about, the personal things in my life. And sadly, I lost a friend, and it seemed she was a filmmaker as well. So it seemed relevant to and important to place her in there somewhere, just to say something about the fact that, yeah, some places are going back to normal in inverted commas, but what is normal? And some places couldn't be further from normal around the world right now.
I guess it's an interesting time to speak about in film. So does that mean that you responded to Gabriel's film in lockdown?
He did the first letter on his lockdown, then I did a letter on my lockdown, then he showed me his neighborhood awakening. And so he was filming the streets of Montevideo and kind of showing all the sounds and sights. And we were actually told to respond in this one quite literally to the previous letter. So the first letter I interpreted quite poetically. And this one, again, it was also another complete experiment going, okay, well, how can I take the essence of that first letter and kind of carry that across thematically, but also respond to him as I would be having a conversation. But still keeping some of that poetic, tonality. And so for me, I'm really excited about the fact that potentially these video letters could be one film about, my lockdown experience. But I imagine them a bit of an anthology at the moment. But it's just been an interesting exercise of just, rather than just staying home and doing nothing, trying to go, well, how can I make what I'm living right now an experience that other people can kind of see.
Just wondering if you and Gabriel share a similar visual style?
Yeah, that's a really good question, Addie. It is quite similar. He started off his video entries showing me his photographs. He's a photographer, and he has these really beautiful film photos that he's taken of his world and his family over the years. So I was kind of thematically trying to link that with my first entry. And then in his video, he's also got a similar kind of eye in terms of he's looking at what other people are doing that are strange. So there's that man who's like sweeping the dock, which I thought was just so fascinating. Like that was just such an amazing symbol of what's happening now. We're just picking up the pieces, we're cleaning, putting things back to normal as best we can. There's people exercising a lot. So I think it was important to highlight the differences as well, because we live in two totally different cities. So again, I'm kind of echoing his sentiments, and then I guess he's echoing mine as well.
So this is a bit of a personal question, but in the film you shared about the loss of your friend Elizabeth. So I was wondering, with editing, I find it quite meditative. Was the process of editing a way of like coming to terms with your grief?
Yeah, I mean, it was quite recent. I was really upset when I had to make this video the same week as the funeral, and I couldn't attend, obviously. So I was just doing like could talk to people over Skype and just send flowers to the family in California. That's kind of all I could do. And so it did actually feel quite therapeutic doing something like this. You know, a few weeks ago, I was able to tell her via a video as well that how much, you know, she inspired me to keep on keeping on with my filmmaking and my practice. And kind of one of the things that I said to her was that, you know, my way of paying tribute to her is I'm going to keep on following this filmmaking dream that we both had and we're both doing. And so it actually just struck me as a thing that I need to put this in here because this is actually what I'm going through right now. And if I try and convey some other sense of what's going on, it's not going to be real. It's going to be fake. So I felt it was important to be authentic with this and just say, look, this is what I'm going through. This is why my video diary this week's late, because it was like I think it was like a day late, because we're supposed to be in at a certain due date. So I think it was really important to do, and I haven't sent it to the family yet because I think it's way too soon. But a friend of mine told Elizabeth's husband about what I was doing, and he's really stoked because he's a filmmaker as well, a really talented filmmaker in the Bay Area in California. So I think it's just a thing that, you know, we've all lost someone, we all know someone who's been affected by what's happening, and I think it's important that we know our place in the world right now.
So in your film, you reference Gabriel's quote about how many blows of reality are necessary to open our eyes, but through the showing of the light and the day breaking, it's like a hopeful sense.
Yeah, that's right. And I think it was interesting for me as well just to start. I mean, the thing we were told to do was wake up each day at 4 a.m. And in Australia right now, it doesn't really get light till 7. So I just interpreted that as wake up before first light. But even just doing something as simple as that for a few days in a row, I just couldn't believe how much I'd been taking for granted and how much I hadn't been noticing around my neighborhood and community. Just the fact that there were people cycling at like 6 a.m. while like I'm usually asleep, or the people are socializing and doing things before their day even starts. It just showed me, wow, there's like a whole other morning life that I just haven't been seeing because I'm a bit of a night owl. So it was quite interesting just to experience that firsthand, and it just made me go, well, I probably should become more of a morning person.
So is your dad anything like you and not a morning person that you had to drag him out of bed, or is he a early riser?
It was an interesting moment because like I went out one day without him, and it was really hard because it just didn't feel like I didn't have any connection to what I was filming. And so I thought it was important to kind of follow that thread that I started in the first one and just keep things through my dad's eyes, because obviously it's my perspective, but I can't necessarily, it doesn't feel right to give the camera to someone and be like, hey, can you film me just watching all these people going about their day? It's a bit strange. And you think about a letter, how it's written, obviously it's your POV and perspective, right? So I felt that it was important to kind of still convey his eyes of what's going on. And I think, you know, he's also been affected by everything that's happening. He's a little bit, you know, there's a moment in the film where he's just looking at pelicans, and I watched that happening, and I'm like, what are you looking at, Dad? And he's like, the pelicans. And it's like, oh, there is this whole other world up there that I wasn't even seeing. And so I thought that was quite evocative of what I was actually filming in the piece as well. So I felt that was important to include.
So in terms of camera gear, what have you been shooting on? So
I've been shooting on a Blackmagic Pocket Cine 4K, and the guys at Zhaiyun in China actually sent me a gimbal. It's a long story, but I was supposed to be making like a video with it, and that all got postponed. So now I'm using it and doing like a review of it. So that's been really cool. It's the Zhaiyun Weebill S, if anyone's interested. It's been pretty amazing so far. It's got like a follow focus on it. You can sync your phone to it, as I'm doing now to film this interview. And I put like a variable ND filter on the lens, which allowed me to control the aperture, and you can even sync the camera with the gimbal so you can control the aperture and focus on the fly. So it's been pretty amazing. I'd never really used a gimbal like this before. When I got it, I was like, what is this robot? And it probably took me like 2 weeks to work out how the hell to use it, because it does take a bit of time to counterbalance it and things like that. But it's been really amazing. I'd really recommend anyone check it out. I'll even have a discount code eventually. Yes, I'm doing that. Wow.
Merch plug.
So if anyone's interested, I haven't set it up yet, but it'll happen. So that's been really, really fun, actually, just to use some new kit and just to learn a new skill as well in the lockdown. I didn't know how to use gimbals before. Now I do.
I really like the shot of the dog, and then I was like, oh my gosh, another dog. I'm like, he's got a friend.
Yeah, there's a lot of echoing of dogs in these. I don't know why. I think I'm just obsessed with animals. I think it's interesting what animals are going through right now because they don't really understand why everyone's at home. They're probably loving it, but then I'm always thinking about, well, once things go back to normal, the animals are probably going to all be really depressed. So I guess that's why I'm fixating on them so much. I don't know. It's an interesting, point. Yeah. I'm glad you picked up on that.
I guess you can't go wrong with a pooch in your film.
That's right, yeah. I also feel that it's a cheat code to be like, make people go, oh, it's a dog. Yay.
But there's a story. It's not just a cute, furry animal. There's depth to it.
Oh, thank you.
I think there's purpose in the way that you've chosen to arrange your shots. So there's not just two dogs, but it kind of shapes the way you want your direction, the way you want your audience to go.
Yeah, thank you for saying that. I have been experimenting with like just really simple transitions, just thematically, how you can link things between little things like the garbage truck segues, the dogs, the beach, just emotion as well. It's been a lot of experimentation. I don't know if I'd call all these a film yet. I think once there's a third one, I think then I'll feel like it's some kind of film at that point.
Before you go, we should plug your film. Where can we see it next?
Oh yeah, if you're interested in seeing my debut feature film, you can actually screen it now as part of the Melbourne Documentary Film Festival and also as part of the Revelation Perth International Film Festival right now. And the film, if you're wondering, it's called The World's Best Film, believe it or not. And if you want to find out if it is the world's best film, well, you have to watch it.
Well, as always, thanks for screening, Josh. Hope we see the next letter saga next month. Till then, see you later.
Thanks so much to Kino for having me on tonight. It's always great fun talking to you guys about my weird experiments.
Welcome back, everybody. If you might notice, we have a costume change. So, the interview Dave Sawyer just then was pre-recorded. We didn't just go and change back just then. Anyways, let's have a look at what's happening in the chat. Dave?
Dave? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, there's a lot of congratulating Josh on the chat. So that's one big giant ball of positivity in there, talking about dogs and
Hey, dogs.
gimbal stabilized doggo, says Ollie. I don't even know what that means, but it sounds positive.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Talking about chat, there's a special chat show that happens every Wednesday at 7:30 on 2SER, and that's called Film Fight Club. So I just want to talk about this podcast show that happens every week. If you want to know the latest news about film, what's happening in the film world, don't stop. Just go and listen to Film Fight Club with Glenn, Chris, and Barat. Really cool dudes. Check it out. It's on 2SER and it's also on Spotify and iTunes. So you won't miss out. So don't film, don't fight, and go to the club. Yeah.
Yeah, do that. But also, answer some trivia questions right now.
Trivia.
Trivia it is. It's trivia time. Now, usually, Chris writes up the trivia questions. We didn't really do that this
we
time.
weren't really prepared
No.
this week.
It was too hard to even decide what to talk about. But we got popcorn and there are questions on the popcorn packet. So,
How convenient.
Very convenient. For people like us, this is a dream come true. Now, the question for you guys to answer at home is, what is the name of the character responsible for bringing the Avengers together? If you can answer that, we'll send you a prize. Make sure you send a little message to our private inbox of your address. I also want to say the previous winners to last month, we haven't sent you anything yet, but we will. Maybe do the same. Send a message in our inbox sending your address, and we'll send you something special. But yeah, do that. And in the meantime, while you think about what the answer is, we'll screen our next film, which is from Ollie and Iffy, called Wild As.
Oh, Australia is such an amazing place. I love this country, mate.
Yeah, sure.
I'm so glad to have you guide me around all this dangerous wilderness.
Well, to be honest, it's a bit overblown. It's not like Aussies are being attacked every day, you know.
But you guys have like snakes, spiders, sharks, killer jellyfishes?
Yeah, sure.
Oh. When are we going to see Croc? Or Crazy Dingo?
Well, not in Victoria. At least not around here anyway.
I'm ready to see Croc. But not a drop bear.
Sure you don't.
The kangaroo is left. It must have sensed the presence of another dangerous predator. Could it be a drop bear?
Drop bears? Yeah, good one.
I think those are the ones I'm most afraid of.
Wait, you do get it, don't you?
Get what?
Drop bears don't exist, they're for fun.
No, they do exist.
No, they don't exist. There's hardly any wild animals around here that are dangerous. The most likely thing is a magpie.
What's a magpie?
It's a bird and they're territorial. No. This time of year they'll attack you. They swoop on you.
Birds attacking people, don't be ridiculous.
Are you for fucking real? I'm telling you, I live here. Drop bears don't exist. The biggest danger around here at the moment is magpies swooping.
Birds don't attack people. Alright. Your goal. Look, animal. They're following us.
There's an animal moving around, but it's probably just a wallaby.
Wallabies don't live in trees. It's a drop bear.
Let go of the drop bears thing, will you?
You let go of the magpie lies. I'm getting out of here.
It's nothing. It's probably just the koalas had a double shot of espresso. He is moving fast though, that little guy. Wow.
I told you!
Hi Kino,
So now we
live
have
stream.
the
It's
director
Andrew
and producer
Vile
of
here.
Wild As,
I'm the actor, in fact, both actors in the
It
film
was such a
Who's the
That'll
Keeper.
do. I think it's a
You
second
could really
letter.
And I'll tell
tell
you a little
that
bit
Yeah,
about
thanks,
it was
guys.
this.
Good to
from
be
The
here.
person who
foreigners.
directed Hi Kino,
So now we
live
have
stream.
the
It's
director and
Andrew
producer
Vile
of
here.
Wild As. So now we have the director and producer of Wild As, Ollie and Iffy. Hi guys.
Hello.
It was such an enjoyable film. You could really tell that it was from a foreigner's perspective of Australia and all the tales of the outback and the wilderness. Was this a long brooding project of yours since you arrived in Australia, or?
I would say,
yes.
yeah,
Kind of.
yeah.
So it started with like hearing stories of drop bears and stuff, and then we're like, this is a bit ridiculous. It's really funny, and then it's kind of how it started. And then Halloween, I wanted to make something for Halloween, And yeah, that's how it kind of started, didn't it?
Yeah, because you figure out so quickly that Australia is not really dangerous that much. People are so used to it. And then you see the statistics about the actual people getting killed more by horses. Like horse riding is more dangerous than any of the other animals, like altogether. So you're like, this is funny. And then you still hear your mates and like backpacking mates and like being worried for, I don't know. It's just like, yeah, we had to do something with it. Definitely.
Sorry, magpies are scary.
Yeah, exactly. And that's when you discover that magpies are dangerous when you go cycle, like when you bike around, and it's like, okay, these guys are dangerous.
They don't like you for 2 months of the year.
Yeah.
Like,
Have you had experience of being swooped by a magpie, or have you been watching all those YouTube videos of people? Yeah.
I actually I had the experience. It was one of my first welcoming to Australia. We had arrived in Melbourne, and I was going for my interview at where I work now, and I was in advance. So I was roaming around, and it's like 30k away from the CBD, so there's a lot of forest around. And I remember hearing this bird like passing really near my head, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. That was like a really close flapping of wings, and I was like, all right. And I looked around and I went looking for the bird, but at that point I'm very ignorant. I don't know about magpies and stuff. And then it's only a few months later, my friends were like, oh yeah, careful, this is like the magpie. Or like a few weeks later when I started working, they're like, oh yeah, careful, this is like magpie season, swooping season. I was like, what's swooping? I didn't know what swooping meant either. And then they explained it to me, and I was like, oh, that's what happened to me. And yeah.
Oh, that happened to me.
Yeah.
It's like you nearly died.
Yeah, and I was like waiting to have my interview. I was still very calm. I didn't know what was happening to me. And I went looking for the bird. Like, really? Like, nobody does that now. Like, I wouldn't. But, and then I had another...
You just want to track down that bird.
Yeah,
It's like,
I was
birdie,
like, oh, where's the bird? I was like,
I wanna get swooped
excited.
again.
No, I like birds. And then there's one other experience where I was going to work on a Sunday, and I was enjoying my day, and I was like, woo, like little birds around. I really like birds. I was looking at these, I think they were lorikeets, and then I felt a tap on my head, and it was like something going like that on my head, and I looked behind me, and this little magpie lark was like giving me attitude, and he's like, what are you gonna do about it? And I was like, dude, man, I'm like so much bigger than you. And he's like, yeah. He was having this attitude.
I love the look. I love how they give you shit. They
he was staring at me in the eyes, and he's like, yeah, huh? You like, and I'm like, wow, what's that? And I got to work, and I was like, guys, I got swooped, and nobody cared. Nobody cared. And I was like, guys, did you hear me? I got swooped. It was quite an experience. And they were like, whatever.
I noticed, I mean, you were shooting out in the wilderness, essentially. And I mean, coming from, a Kino background where, the mentality is like, shoot on the fly, quick, kind of get the gear that you have and shoot. You guys always seem to make it look so professional and flawless, and the sound quality in the film when you're outdoors is amazing. Like, what are your tips and techniques to get that?
Yeah, this...
That was so last minute, actually.
Yeah, in the afternoon, so let's say at 12, we were still, like, casting on the... Like, it was just so ridiculously late that... And we were ready to bail out completely and not shoot in that afternoon. But then the actor, Daniel, had showed up, and he, like, on his motorcycle, like, he's just motorcycle guy. He had to go back, like, at 5. So we had him in the afternoon, but nothing was planned. So by 2, I think we were in the park, because it's kind of like, I won't reveal exactly where it is because I guess permits or whatever. But no, seriously, it's like you can get there by tram. It's very accessible where we shot. But still, we didn't have time, so I think we shot in like 3 hours or 4.
Yeah.
And the tips, I mean, it's...
Just do it. Just do it. Even if you don't have everything that you want to just do it sometimes.
Yeah.
If not, if you delay it for another week, then you might end up not really doing it and overthinking it. Sometimes it's just better to do it with what you have.
But the good sound was the we had a shotgun mic, so so people from far were able to record. I mean, people. It was Bernard. It was Bernard's gear. Bernard became the main actor, and Ify was doing the sound whenever Bernard was not on screen. It was a team of 5.
When he was
yeah,
on screen.
when he was.
But so that's it. Like, we had our foreigner actor, but we didn't have the Aussie actor. The Aussie actor kind of bailed out at the last minute, and so when Bernard came,
being the sound the only.
Yeah,
he was not supposed to play in the film.
Yeah, and I sat him down. I was like, Bernard, is that okay if you're an actor for today? And he had to think about it, and then he gave it a try, and I think he enjoyed it at the end.
Yeah, we're like, we're gonna take care of you. It's gonna work. You're gonna look great on cam. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we had only the DOP, Lawrence. We had Ollie
shooting
me,
on a Sony
and
A7.
the 2 actors, and that's it.
Yeah.
So I guess you just had like a script and no shot list or shot plan, and you just like ran, and everyone just worked well together.
Yeah, and the location we just walked in that green area. I mean, we just walked and we're like, okay, we have to shoot this. There was no set.
We wanted that location because usually there's kangaroos
Kangaroos,
there, but they didn't want to be on camera, so we never found them.
Yeah, I was like, this is gonna be so great if we can have the actors as well as kangaroos just roaming around. That would be incredible. No. But turns out I just used some of my other shots that I shot. Like, I think it's when he's filming the kangaroos, it's basically me filming kangaroos in Tasmania, I think, or wherever it was. It's just taken somewhere else.
Stock footage.
Yeah. The bats are not even from Victoria. The bats are like shot in Queensland. Cairns. Yeah, in Cairns. So it's a mishmash, but I think, yeah.
I noticed in the credits, Ify, that you were credited as props. So did you make the props, and like, can you talk about that? Because there was a lot of like practical effects in the film.
I really like mechanical. Oh.
No, yeah, please.
He's
explain.
gone. Nah, he doesn't want to know about the props.
Okay.
I really like mechanical effects. Ollie's really into After Effects and CGI and stuff. I really enjoy working with materials. So when I had the idea, it was about 2 years ago. And when we had the idea, we discussed about it, and I had started working on the koala because it was meant to be shot way before it was shot. And so I found the koala and I played around with it. Oh yeah, he went to get the props. Yeah.
We still have them.
So I love making blood. So this little guy here, I made him. It's been so long, I don't remember how I made it. And then like I bought some fake nails and I put some fake nails on him, and I don't know where that come from. But yeah, so that was fun. I did this a while ago, and then this guy became a really fluffy magpie at the last minute that morning that we had to shoot. So I had some feathers at home, and this guy is from Aldi, you know those little things for Aldi. No, Reject Shop.
Reject Shop.
Yeah, Reject Shop.
I was like,
should be sponsored.
Get your German groceries and get a magpie.
And then, so I just stuck a bunch of feathers on him, and then I was like, okay, we're good to go. And I really enjoyed making blood.
Then
I made some blood.
She just wants like, I'll make a film. Is there going to be any blood in your film? I just want to make a giant jar of blood. That's something I hear often.
Yeah, we were thinking that you had done the VFX, on the teeth on the koala.
Yeah.
We didn't actually
stuck on.
So the koalas, the koala from the. So I had to add CG claws here, and I had to remove the eyes because the eyes were the part that was just you would
Yeah.
see
But
its
he has
plastic
his
eyes. So
claws.
I removed the eyes and put real koala eyes on, motion tracked on the fake eyes.
But you did add the teeth on the images that you
Yeah,
already
teeth,
had.
eyes, claws,
But on the prop, they were there. You know, like.
added digitally.
But like this prop has it.
Oh yes, yes,
But like
yes,
it's in your stock footage at the end. Then you
Yeah.
added the teeth. And
Oh, yes, yes.
the nails.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't go up to the koala and be like, "Hey, dude, can I put these on?"
Yeah, no, we didn't touch any animals. We were super far from everything. So yeah, when it comes to yeah, we basically no animal knew even about our existence. That's how we
We're
did the
tricking.
film. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Well, I think that's about all we have time for. Yeah, but we did want to talk about Filmonic. It's the Kino Syndicate in Melbourne. So tell us about it. When's the next screening?
We don't have so we usually at every last Tuesday of every month, and we had Filmonic 71 last month, but now we're just reevaluating. We're just checking because us being back in isolation means that there's less of a demand for showing films, but more of a demand for making a new round of isolation films. Like I think it's with Waves. We got kind of bored with ISO films in May, while ISO films were still like, oh my god, we have to do something. We're making films in isolation in March, April. But then it's kind of like that first round of films. We got over it quickly, and now we're back to like, oh, we need to do something.
We need to make films.
Collaboratively.
Yeah.
But all spreaded. We'll post a link to your page when we get the concept out in the world. But that will call for a lot of people filming themselves, and we're making a big short film with everyone, and then we're gonna have a Filmonic screening with it.
That's the plan.
Sounds good.
That's exciting.
Yeah, we'll stay tuned. Well, thanks, guys, and yeah, we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
See you. Thanks.
Yeah. Bye. Hey, and we're back. Ooh. I hope you enjoyed Olivia and Iffy's film. As we plugged in the pre-recorded interview, they run Filmonic in Melbourne, which is the sister cell to Kino Sydney. Like us, they want your submissions, particularly from Melburnians. So if you're a Melburnian out there watching, look up Filmonic and be sure to submit. Now, I understand that they're on the chat room and being a little bit of rascals on there. What can you tell us, Dave? What are they talking about?
There's a bit more behind the scenes explanation on the making of the film. Apparently Bernard's glasses were darker through special effects because you could see the camera reflection back on it. Ooh. So yeah, that had to be done. And yeah, some more confirmation that no real echidnas were harmed or kidnapped during the making of the film. They used super long distance zoom lens and filmed real echidnas on the side of the road.
Okay.
Yes. And Andrew shared that sharks kill people often.
Okay.
Facts.
Yeah. Sometimes. Just every, Should we be in the water though? It's kind of there. They own the waters, right? I don't know.
They own the waters.
It's
They're
theirs.
sharks.
What are we doing in there? It's our fault. We were there.
Anyways.
Enough about that. Crap. Wait, there was something. No, actually, no. We should check who got the answer right to the trivia.
Oh yeah,
what was the
trivia.
answer? Tell us, what was the answer?
I got a lot of answers coming in, including Mystical Black Guy, Morpheus, Diana Rigg, Joss Whedon, etc., but I believe Josh was the first one to guess it right with Nick Fury.
Excellent. He's won again. He's going to be...
Second time in a row?
Yeah, well, like in the screening. Yep, he's done it. He's done it again. He's the one to beat. Before we go into our next film, I just want to touch on Filmonic again. It's a little bit of a segue. Filmonic run, like us, 48-hour film challenges, which usually happen at the end of the year. Not sure if it's going to happen during this pandemic this year, but the premise is we meet up on a Friday night, pitch ideas, make the films in the next 48 hours, and then we screen it to a live audience on the Monday night. I think Filmonic do it on the Sunday night though. But if obviously you can't wait for it, in the meantime you can catch.
In July, coming up this month, there's Film Championships, which is running from the 24th to the 26th of July. So you're going to get given a category on the 24th, so that's a Friday, and you're going to just have that time to make a film, and the film's made because Film Championships is partnering with Kino Sydney, and they will have some films created that will be screening with us next month, which our next screening is on the 10th of August.
Yeah.
So make some films.
Make a film and screen with us, you know. Woo! Now,
yes,
the next film was not shot on a 48-hour film challenge, but more like a 24-hour film challenge. It was a mini version of our cabarets. It was done here at Sun Studios. Once again, thank you for allowing us to do the cabs here. But the next film that we're screening is Andrew Vile's Who's the Keeper?
So let's say you got the job. Ah, beauty. Well, I'm off to the cricket to celebrate. Oh, who's playing? Who's the keeper? What's at first slip? I forget's at second. So if you know the guys' names, then who is the keeper? Yes. I mean the person keeping wicket. Who? The wicket keeper. Who is the wicket keeper? Well, what are you asking me for? I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. Well, go on, have they got a keeper? Of course. It's a silly point. Are you a bit short of a length? Then who's playing keeper? Absolutely. Well, all I'm trying to find out is what is the name of the wicket keeper? No. What is the name of the fielder at first slip? I'm not asking that. Now just calm down. All right, what's the guy's name at second slip? I told you. What is the guy's name at first slip? I'm not asking who's at first slip. Who is the keeper? And I forget, he's at second slip. And actually they pronounce it Forget. He was a French tennis player. And you told me who was on first slip? No. Who is the bloody wicketkeeper for the last time? I don't know. Now come on. Mid-wicket, gully. Have you got a fine leg? Of course. The mid-wicket fielder's name? Why? I just thought I'd ask. Well, I just thought I'd tell you. So the mid-wicket fielder's name is what? No, why? What is at first slip? I'm not asking you who's at first slip. Now just take it easy, settle down. And the mid-wicket fielder's name? Why? Because. No, he's at cover. Wait a minute, have you got a point? How could you play cricket without a point? Well, tell me the name of the player at point. tomorrow. You're not going to tell me today? No. Just bugger off and don't bother me. Oh, you haven't got the job, mate. That's it. Hi, Kino live stream. It's Andrew Vile here. I'm the actor, in fact, both actors in the film Who's the Keeper? And I'll tell you a little bit about this. The person who directed it is Forrest Lynn. He did a wonderful job of direction, as he always does. But the piece itself is something that I've been working on probably for 20 years, changing words around and finding out which works, how it works to get a laugh. Getting a laugh is a hard thing on film or anywhere when you're not a funny person. But this, of course, is tried and true funny script because it comes originally from an old vaudeville piece from Britain 100 years ago, and then it was used by Abbott and Costello, and it's been used many, many times since for different things in films, and I think Dustin Hoffman used a bit of it in something he was in once, just to lift the laughter. My idea, of course, was to transform it completely and transform it from the original idea, which was to do with baseball, and convert it to cricket. And it didn't seem like a very difficult thing to do when I started, but to get all the places on the field correctly, so that it wasn't just a jumble. It took me a long time, and as I said, I revised it over and over again, and then Forrest got hold of it. And he changed the concept behind it quite seriously to make it a boss versus someone who's applying for a job. So that made it a different thing. My original idea was just two cricket fans talking, and they finish up disagreeing, but we took it a bit further than that at the end, and I think it works quite well. So that's all I can tell you about it. Forrest, of course, is the person that should be talking about it technically, how it was done. I've never seen anything done like that before, except using travelling mats and, all the latest technology, expensive stuff. But we did this without hugely expensive technology. And I think it's quite difficult for people to tell that it was shot in a way that one actor was moving and then moving over to the other side and replying, and then coming back to the first side again and then replying, and keeping all that so that the eye lines were correct is what the crew did a very good job of telling me where my eye line was every time I answered, whether I was the boss or whether I was the person wanting the job. And that's the secret of it, is getting the eye lines right. And of course the cameraman was great, and the production people were great, and I'm very happy with it. In fact, I'd like it to go on television. I think there'd be scope for that on one of these news programs one day, just to lift everyone's interest in life, because most people are doing it tough at the moment. And when cricket starts up again, I think it'll be something that people would be interested in. Anyway, I won't say any more. Thank you to Kino for screening it, and I hope people like it. And also to Brian Fisher, who organises these things and was, of course, producing at the time of the shooting of it. And it was done at Sun Studios. And it's unlikely that I'll ever do it live again in a sort of live performance the way I used to do it at poetry club meetings and things. I'll just keep using the film. Thank you.
Well, you just saw what was a taste to come.
Tasting.
Yeah. But Who's the Keeper is a great example of what you can do in 24 hours. You just need one location really. It's a little bit of a small crew. We didn't even have an idea. Everyone kind of came in on the day with nothing, except Andrew came in with a script. We made it within a couple of hours and that was done. So
one day,
one
film, you can do it.
Yeah, so do it. Be motivated. Do it. And while you think about what you're going to do, let's do another round of trivia. Whoa. So, tell me, which 90s animated film was Disney's first ever DVD? Think about that. Think of all the animations if you
Digital
don't know the
video
names of it.
disc.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah. DVDs, do they exist anymore? Probably, but who has them?
I do.
Yeah, I do too.
Anyways.
Just the film nerds have them, which is us. Anyone that attends Kino, really. And that's what you're probably going to win on the film trivia questionnaires, is DVDs. So while you think about that, let's play the next film. What's the next film, Maddie?
Yes. So we just heard from Andrew, and we have another Andrew that's coming up who's from Filmonic in Melbourne, and he is going to present to you some film haikus. Take it away, Andrew.
Hello, good evening. My name is Andrew and I'm part of the committee of Filmonic Melbourne. We are also a part of the international Kino movement. Unfortunately, Melbourne are in lockdown once again, but I won't get into that. What I'm here to talk to you about are haikus. Now, haiku traditionally is a Japanese form of poetry consisting of 3 lines, 5 beats, 7 beats and 5 beats. Now, the team at Filmonic Melbourne, consisting of Olivier, Iffy, Lawrence, Bernard and Glyn, big shout out to all you guys. Now, we've created the cinematic form of the haiku. It was Olivier's concept, and over the last couple of years we've been making quite a few of the haikus that you are about to see. It's really simple. So the first shot is 5 seconds, the second shot is 7 seconds, and the third and final shot is another 5 seconds. So the whole film is 17 seconds. You can add a 3-second title at the end, so it's a 20-second package. And that limitation is the best thing about it, because you can't get lost in your thoughts as a do too much and get... So, time to pick up that camera and go and get shooting. See you soon.
Much
like
haiku,
which consist
of
3
lines
of 5
7
and 5
onji
the following
films
will
be
told
using 3
shots of
5 7
and 5 seconds.
Hey Phil, do you want to write a haiku?
Okay. Wait, aren't you supposed to shoot a haiku? Oh, that's a really good idea. Let's do it. Haikus, you can shoot them or write them.
Where's my DOP? I've been looking all morning.
I'm looking for him.
never get sick because of their little antibodies.
Bob Anderson, when he trained with Viggo Mortensen, said that he was absolutely the best person that he
A few moments later.
land into Wellington. He had to get his costume adjusted a little bit, but because he was kind of the same height as
2,000 years later.
I knew that he'd started fighting Aragorn, but he wanted to stay Aragorn, so he slept in his costume the whole time with his horse as a pillow so he could watch the dawn rise.
Hey, check this one out. Hey. Oh, she's got jumpers on, eh? Maybe she all go. Giddy up, love. Go on, giddy up. Oh!
Who finally said yes, but when they started filming, they didn't actually have Viggo on board yet. So then Peter Jackson was on set and he was filming the Hobbits and the Prancing Pony, and they were extending the footage really long. And when Viggo decided that he was going to come, so then we sent in sword fighting before he had to be part of the Prancing Pony shoots. And so the first time he was shooting is when he's in there talking about the Nazgul.
Mate, you broke my bloody leg! Oh.
139 to Kano. I've infiltrated the school and the Operation Stuff Stocking is in order.
Don't add up on the naughty list. Now go.
Yoink!
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Immune System World Championships. Your competitors for today are Mike, Mitochondria Magoo, and Larry, Lupus Rodriguez. And they're off.
Hit me. Oh. Ah. Another.
Got breezy, gets real ass and I feel cheesy. Evening, Mayan, she's in breezy, got me like diesel, feel that pussy. I see me and you get diesel, three in the backseat, get that.
Like me and I feel breezy, getting in the backseat makes me easy, give it to me. And
I've lost my wallet. Have you seen my wallet?
Here's a wallet.
That's not my wallet.
Those are my headphones.
I agree, it's my headphones.
These are clearly my headphones.
Like I said, yeah.
Zabe is the hardest working guy in the office. Just a real stand-up guy. Yeah, so like, you, what's with the long face?
This is my face.
Where's my wallaby? Give me back my wallaby!
Why do you want this job?
Money?
Why did you lose your previous job?
Because I sucked. My colleague, not my boss.
What do you know about our company?
You use child labor in Asia.
Well, I wake up in the morning.
Somebody stole my mood ring. I don't know how I feel about that.
Time moves so slowly.
That's what art is for.
On the night of October 22nd, at 9:34 and 37 seconds, that's when you're going to die.
That is today, and that is the time right now.
I'm never wrong.
Back with me!
Are you shitting me?
Have you tried this shit?
No. Oh, that's addictive.
I know, right?
$20. 10. All right.
You see, in this world, there are two types of people, my friend. Those with loaded guns and those who dig. You dig!
It's a hell of a thing killing a man. You take away all he's got and all he's gonna have.
I heard you can get me some ice.
You came to the right place. Let's go.
Oh.
No.
On the chair, David.
Yep, now you're back.
All right, we're back. And David, what's happening in the chat room? Did anyone answer the question?
No, no one got it right so far. We've got JT74 guessing Little Mermaid and also added that I have it on blurry. And Ollie guessed that it was Red Riding Hood, which is also incorrect. And Ollie also shared with us that if he is in love with blood, is fascinated by it.
Yeah, story behind that. I was gifted some cow liver and it had a whole bunch of blood, and coincidentally I couldn't find where my fake blood was, so I used real blood instead.
Oh.
Yep.
Like, what do I do with this free blood?
Yeah.
Might as well, like,
should I eat it?
do this. And
Should I drink it, or should I use it in a picture? And I did that. Okay, so if you haven't guessed the trivia question, I'll give you a clue. It is 5 letters and it starts with M. Go. Go. Come on. David, did anyone respond to that?
No. Still no.
A 20-second, oh, there's a 20-second delay. Okay. So I'll give you guys some time to think.
Is that thinking music?
Yep, that's thinking music.
That's thinking music.
Yeah. Okay, 20 seconds should be up. Has anyone? 5 letters.
Oh.
Lawrence guessed it but spelled it wrong. Oh, here we are. Mulan.
Yay! Cool.
Josh is angry at us because we lied. We said there were only 5 films and it was like 100.
Okay.
100 for the price of 1.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. It wasn't, it was Andrew. Andrew did that.
Blame
right?
Andrew.
Blame it
one
on
of the
Andrew. We really, yeah. Okay, well, still kind of technically, 5 to 100 films. But the last film, what's the last film?
Yes, the last film is called Illusion by Ali Al-Aziz. Yes, let's watch it.
Okay, that was it from us. That's all the films we have to show to you. Be sure to check out our next screening on August 10th. Like we've been saying all night, submit, submit, submit.
Make it.
Yep. Make it happen.
I was going to say don't break it, but yeah.
Yeah, don't break it.
Don't break it, make it.
Make it.
Make a film.
Yeah, woo, do it. You got nothing to lose. You know, I mean, you might be losing out a night of watching Netflix, but that's no big loss because you'll be making something better than Netflix. It'll be your film, okay? Your film will be...
Exclusive premieres, made by you, vintage class edition.
Yeah.
Vintage?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, totally. So do it. Also, not just us, but SF Free, Filmonic, Lockdown Lives, Film Championships.
So many platforms that you can choose from that you can make films in. So what are you doing? Get off the couch, and make a film.
Yeah, even if you wobble.
That was really weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
You might wobble, but that's fine. You made it. That's the point of it.
That was a
So do
metaphor.
it.
That was a metaphor of it.
Yeah. Or it was acting. You don't know.
When are we on? Yes.
Yeah, we're on next on August 10th. Check us out. A big special thank you to the people behind the scenes, which is John, Brian, David, and Donna, who helped with editing some of the pre-recorded films. Oh, she didn't end up doing it. She didn't last time. But thanks. Also, Addie, thanks for filling in for Chris.
Woo.
Thank you.
Thanks. Hopefully we're all not as awkward, I guess. I don't know.
You did good.
Yay.
Yay. Thanks to Sun Studios as well for the space, and we'll see you next month.
Bing, 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 bing.